Yes, Kenya. Tamu sana, tamu sana, tamu sana. Earlier today, William Ruto made some remarks during Mwai Kibaki's funeral service at Nyayo Stadium in Nairobi. And those remarks have been interpreted to mean open defiance against President Uhuru Kenyatta. And more so if you listen to how the crowd, or rather a section of the crowd also responded when William Ruto made those remarks, also speaks volumes. So in this video, I want us to listen in keenly to William Ruto, after which, as usual, we are just going to put those remarks into perspective to see exactly what is happening behind the scenes. Listening to William Ruto.
President Kenya ever had.
Yes. I don't think William Ruto made those remarks in good faith. He made those remarks deliberately to undermine the performance of President Uhuru Kenyatta. And that is so because President Uhuru Kenyatta and William Ruto are currently not reading from the same political page. So William Ruto was out to undermine the president's performance. And I'm saying that again because in the recent days, William Ruto and his foot soldiers have been using Mwai Kibaki to undermine the performance of Uhuru Kenyatta. It's something common nowadays to listen to the likes of Rigathi Gachagua, Ndindi Nyoro, and these leaders supporting William Ruto, undermining the president, that he has not performed as Kibaki did. And the main reason they have actually been propagating that is simply because maybe President Uhuru Kenyatta has not supported William Ruto politically. In the event the President Uhuru Kenyatta could have supported William Ruto politically, William Ruto and his foot soldiers could have been praising Uhuru Kenyatta as the best president Kenya has ever had. But simply because Uhuru Kenyatta refused to support Ruto, Uhuru Kenyatta is now not a good president. That's exactly what I'm seeing, or rather reading from those remarks. They were deliberate to undermine President Uhuru Kenyatta's performance. And then if you look at it from another angle again, I think it's almost automatic that any leader will always praise himself as the best. William Ruto and Uhuru Kenyatta, this is their government. William Ruto is part of the presidency. So William Ruto, by making those remarks again, is also just admitting to Kenyans that they might not have performed as was expected. But the irony of it all, William Ruto, the same William Ruto making those remarks, turns around and then he goes to Kenyans and then he asks Kenyans to give him another mandate to actually continue from where Uhuru Kenyatta left. From one side of the mouth, he might be admitting that this government has failed. And then from the other side of the mouth, he's going to ask Kenyans to give him a fresh mandate to rule upon them. From where I see it, that just exposes the kind of hypocrisy by some of these leaders. If at all William Ruto believes that their Jubilee government has not performed, then William Ruto, the best thing he could have done was not to seek another mandate from Kenyans to actually rule. That comes out very, very clearly. And then if you look at the crowd that was shouting, something tells me strongly that that crowd might have been a mobilized crowd. It might have been a paid crowd stationed there deliberately to act the way they did. And I'm saying that because we are in a game of politics, and such things do happen. If you look at William Ruto's brand of politics and largely supporters, they have all along been insisting that Kibaki, Harry Kibaki. That has been William Ruto's brand of politics, and even his foot soldiers and supporters on the ground. So when he mentioned that Kibaki performed is the best, you could see the cheering from the crowd. That tells me strongly that that crowd might have been mobilized, paid and given instructions on how to act, or rather to react when Ruto speaks or when his name is actually mentioned. And I'm saying that because if you look at William Ruto in the past, as he was maybe doing his political campaigns on the mountain, there are so many videos that were exposed of William Ruto and his team stationing maybe mourners stationing some people during maybe burials. And anytime leaders aligned to the president was speaking, then they used to be heckled, while those leaders allied to William Ruto were being cheered. It was later established that some of those crowds were being mobilized and being paid to act that way. So I believe that this is the exact thing William Ruto and his team might have done today at Nyayo Stadium. They might have mobilized that crowd. And I honestly believe, and this is something I'm saying with a lot of confidence, if you look at William Ruto and his supporters, small things really excite them. When William Ruto is actually cheered, maybe during such occasions, that excites William Ruto and his supporters. And that tells me clearly that this is a team that is yet to mature politically. If you look at Raila's brand of politics, Raila has gone through all that. Raila has been cheered, and actually, Raila has been cheered before. And what William Ruto might be going through is exactly what Raila has actually gone through. And Raila came to the realization that cheering during such occasions, or even during maybe burial ceremonies, that cannot make you a president. So actually, as of today, even though Raila was equally cheered very widely, you won't find Raila supporters actually excited about that cheering. But if you look at William Ruto supporters, they are really celebrating that kind of cheering. A clear indication that they are not yet mature politically. Such things really excite them. But that's not what can make somebody win the presidency. To win a presidential election in Kenya takes more than just cheering during such occasions. That is something that I know in due course, William Ruto and his supporters will just come to understand. That's not how somebody becomes the president. And if you look at it from another angle altogether, from those remarks by William Ruto is making a serious political blunder. William Ruto is undermining his boss in front of the boss himself. And if you go through the 48 laws of power, the first law, we are being told that never outshine the master. Don't undermine your boss. Always make those above you feel comfortably superior. So it comes out automatically that any podium or forum William Ruto gets, his main business is to make sure he outshines and undermines his boss, President Uhuru Kenyatta. And from where I see it, that will augur very negatively for William Ruto's chances of even winning this year's presidency. That will augur very negatively for him. And I'm saying that based on some historical facts that has been seen around the world. You don't assume power by undermining your boss, especially in a country like Kenya, where, that's not how to maybe acquire power. For you to acquire power, you must be a little bit humble, unyenyekee, usionekane mwerevu sana. The moment you project yourself as too clever, that is one sure way of actually not getting that seat you want as a president. You must be humble, and you must not project yourself as a know-it-all kind of a person. That's the blunder William Ruto and his supporters are actually making. And in due course, they'll just know that maybe they have actually been making a blunder. That's not how to attain power. You attain power through humility. And Raila Odinga has actually realized that. And that's why you see Raila Odinga might have humbled himself for him to get that power. William Ruto is still learning the ropes. And I know as years pass by, he shall have just come to the reality of maybe what I'm saying here. Otherwise, ladies and gentlemen, just as I did indicate when we were starting, in case you've bumped here for the very first time, and so far you have not yet subscribed, kindly subscribe, give this video a like. And to our fans, our subscribers here, I'm very much humbled, very grateful for the kind of support you are giving me here. God bless you. God bless Kenya. And as I conclude, that crowd we witnessed today at Nyayo Stadium, most definitely it might have been a mobilized crowd stationed at some places, or rather stationed intentionally to maybe cheer William Ruto to create a perception that is very, very popular. But it can be very, very far from the actual truth on the ground. That's my take, ladies and gentlemen.